On this next episode of the Alex Henry Foster podcast, Alex shares about how different the emotions are expressed in a live setting compared to the album. He also talks about this communion he has with the people at the concert and offers us a tour of his guitar and keyboard station.
So hi guys, I hope you're doing good. We are right now at Le Botanique in Brussels, Belgium, where Alex is playing tonight with his band The Long Shadows. So how are you doing?
Very good. I'm very good. I'm very happy to be here. The room is absolutely amazing. It sounds great, and the visuals, everything is awesome. I'm very happy.
Yeah, you just finished sound checks and it's been incredible. The light honestly really adds something, which is very cool to have for a show like yours, guys, because there's a lot of emotions when you're on stage. And this is a show that you're going to broadcast live as well,
That's
which
true.
is
Okay, now I'm nervous.
I'm sorry, this message just kicked in. But this is the first time you do this on this tour, live broadcast like that. There's a lot of reaction already. People are really looking forward to it. But before we go into the show, which is going to happen an hour and a half away from now.
Yeah.
For the people who have listened to your album, you've had a lot of feedbacks, and it's about grief, about the loss of your father, but it's very deep, it's really introspective. But then when we see you live, which people are about to see very soon, I feel like the emotions are really different. There's a lot more energy, you're a lot more out there. Do you have intentionally a different approach between the album and between the live?
Yeah, I think it's always different because you need to understand that when you're in a studio and you're only facing the echo of your own emotions. So yes, the album is about grief and loss, but it's also about finding like a way to reach light all over again. And so the record is about that. So it's clear that when you've got that intimacy on a record, so you know that you can already in a way picture someone who will take a moment to listen to the songs, to look at the lyrics. So it's more of a personal kind of experience, more intimate, I would say.
Yeah.
But when you're in a studio, it's all about the honesty that you need to have, and to define also how far you're willing to go, because there's no audience, you don't have feedbacks, you don't know.
It's between you and yourself.
Yeah, exactly, and that measure is utterly important, because if you're not willing to go as far as maybe you wanted to when I wrote those songs, so it kind of like puts some kind of a veil in front of all those songs. So that's why the album has been very, very the way we recorded every single song has been in a sense of emergency, because I wasn't trusting myself to go back after and just to kind of rework things.
What do you mean in sense of emergency?
Because for me, I wanted the emotions to be raw.
Okay.
They needed to be really, because at one point it's not about necessarily about sincerity, but it's about how far you want to go, because the songs are already written. So and it's very easy, especially in the studio, to kind of to go back and to mask everything in a way that you're not as exposed, you're not as emotionally involved as when you wrote the songs.
To think again and to have
so
perspective.
so that's why for me it was super important to live the record when I was recording it as if it was something that I was maybe in a live perspective, even though it's very intimate, very in a way quiet, but also it's a moment that you have with yourself in many ways.
But then you say you've written them and recorded it in a live performance, yet you were saying that you didn't even want to release it in the first place, and you didn't even know if you. So how does that?
I think that
come around.
The way what I mean is when you're playing live, you cannot you cannot stop and say, well, okay, let's do that again. No. I'm sorry. What I meant was. oh well, you didn't
So
get
you
right.
mean it was
know?
more like a one take.
Yeah,
type
yeah, yeah.
of-
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like
Okay.
emergency. I didn't want to go back and say, oh, what's hook? Oh, maybe it's too long of a song, or maybe that sound is like maybe people will feel like a little bit uncomfortable. So that's why for me it was super important and essential for every single song to be delivered and expressed in the real motion of emergency. So I had to really deliver what I had on my heart in a way that I cannot backtrack after. So that was the
So basically, when you recorded the album, when you were in studio, you gave 100% of everything you had, of everything you knew about those songs. But then now, whenever you play those songs live, does it mean that you've learned more about those songs through performing them, through recording them, through the feedbacks of the people?
But I
Is
think
this
you're.
where
I
the
think
different
I'm.
emotions?
I think I'm learning about the songs through people's reaction in many ways, because the record, especially since we released it, the Canadian version, we released it already like a couple of months ago. So I already had like.
Over a year ago.
Oh, really? That's fast. Wow. Life goes by. And so that's why when now I have a bit of a perspective, and also about those emotions personally, and also I have like I've been able to. I had the privilege and to commune those emotions with so many people, and I'm learning about the record and about the songs. Because some people are saying, hey, those words are, I feel like those words about this, or other people would say, oh, this is really something that's really touches me like in a very deep way. And sometimes, and that's the beauty when you're delivering an emotion in a very vivid and raw movement. It's the fact that you're discovering those words after, because you didn't take the time to mask everything and to change and to kind of turn them into something that you're in control of. So those songs are bigger than yourself, and those songs are evolving every night as well. So having that perspective now, when especially having like the opportunity to share those emotions with the people in different countries and different cities and different backgrounds. So that's so rich for me, because we're discovering those songs again and again every night, and I don't want to mimic everything. So that's why there's a lot of impros. There's a lot of movements, even like when we're playing live, because my biggest fear, why I wasn't sure if I wanted to come back and on stage, was to kind of mimic everything every night, and suddenly those songs are losing their essence, and they're losing everything, their nature basically, because you know how it goes, you know where the breakdown, what works and what's not really working, because you're learning. We're professional musicians.
Which is something that's really important to you.
Yeah, and it's really
talked about
essential.
it,
It's essential, because otherwise you're just becoming some kind of like a jukebox playing the same things over and over again, and the words are losing their meaning, and for me, since it's a very personal record and it means so much to so many people now, that would have been a terrible conclusion to something that has been very painful to do, but also very joyful to let go of. So
and to share,
of course.
And if you could sum up, I know you hate one word type of questions, but if you could sum up the emotions from the album and the emotions from the live performances, what would they be?
I don't think there's any words really, because first it's not my role to try to define anything. my
But
only
you as
yeah,
the
but,
artist,
but even as me as the artist, because I don't feel like I'm putting a show every night. I feel like I'm just like sharing
Yeah.
an emotion, and we're developing like a common language every night.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to try to overanalyze things would be to go back to trying to figure things out, and then suddenly to put everything in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I'm very very scared of that, because I know myself, and sometimes I don't have the courage to really expose myself to that level. So if I'm starting to overthinking everything, the whole process, the words, what it means like the LP, and what it means like, so then I'm slowly allowing myself to overanalyze everything. So I don't want it's a very good question. It's a very good
That's all right,
question.
we won't go there.
Maybe I will be able to talk about it in a few other records. So then I will be able to look back and say, well, okay, now I understand this and this and this.
Or
But-
maybe never, and I mean, and that's fine. And this
but I'm
is
not
how
at,
you
at
live
this
the
point
album.
now. Yeah,
And maybe you won't ever be. Maybe this is not a point that has to be reached
yeah.
anyway.
I'm very sorry. If you're looking for a word, won't come
But
from me.
however, before I let you go and get ready for the show tonight,
Mm.
I would just like for you to walk us on stage, because you talked about it before, about your little station. Your
Oh, you really
music
wanna go
station.
there?
Yeah. And I think right now, because the room is just really empty and
Yeah,
we've got a little
that's
bit
the
of time,
quiet
so
moment. Yeah. All right.
let's
Okay.
get
So
going.
I'm gonna show you all the secrets. Be careful. There's a lot of things. So you've got Jeff, Rig, bass rig, Ben, who's like in open competition with Seth about pedals.
I heard
So-
his was now bigger though.
Yeah, see? So that's mine, but before we go there, so obviously this is Moose, all this stuff.
But you've also got a second drum.
A second drum
Yeah.
for Ben, because I wanted to have like to expand the sound. And you've got here Seth's pedals, and we have more also keyboards and sequences. We've got Miss Isabel's there who's singing. So, and my playground. So, like I said, I'm bringing like all my lyrics, because I never know whatever song we're gonna play. And we have a foundation that we play, but at the same time I want to be able to explore.
What do you mean you have a foundation that
But
you play?
we know that I love to start with Slow Pace of the Winds, because it's like a very introspective kind of song that it's a stream that slowly, just like takes you in. So that's very, and I love all the layers of feedbacks and everything that I'm doing with my guitar. So that's pretty cool. And after that, from that moment on, then I decide whatever we're doing. So that's for this. And I've got like all sorts of signs when we're doing like the sound checks. So I'm gonna take some notes. So all my lyrics are like covered with like different whatever.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we're using. I'm using like.
Your keyboard.
Let's see. Yeah, so that's my Moog. So that's a new addition to this thing, because when we're recording or when we're working in the studio, what's very different was that I really wanted to have the freedom to express myself, not only vocally but musically as well, which wasn't necessarily the case with Your Favorite Enemies. With Your Favorite Enemies, we started to play a little bit with guitar and everything, and it was a different setup. It was more fast tempo kind of songs and very direct in a way, direct approach. But with my music, I love when it's more I love for the sound to be more to expand a little bit more. I love to improvise. So with the Moog, it's very interesting because I can do like a lot of textures.
Yeah.
Because what I really got into over the years was like all the sonic elements of feedbacks and distortion, and so that's really something that is very important for me, and that I believe is part of the whole experience in terms of creating a moment. So I've got like all my different stickers here. And it's very funny because
Okay,
It's
what
very-
are the green ones?
the green, okay, here, those I don't remember. So
Okay.
that's already a bad start. Those are for Shadows Over Evening Tides.
Okay.
So I've got numbers and colors and codes. This is like a new one for Shadows because we keep evolving from
Okay.
time after time when we're rehearsing. So those the black ones with the numbers, it's Hannah, the Song of Hannah. Yeah, and those. Yeah, I don't even get like the names right. So those.
The black one.
Yeah, the black ones with like the yellow, it's for slow pace of the winds. And then I've got like all my different presets with different sounds where I can like kind of torture the notes a bit. So that's very cool. And what I really love about it, it's also very physical. And for me, it's very important to be really physically involved within the songs. So it's now I just like I'm really involved. It's very and for me, what was very difficult at the beginning with Your Favorite Enemies, I was like really into it. So, but I only had a microphone, so I was like, it was more of a direct approach with the people. But now, I think that what I love is I can control so many things with like the pedal expression pedals, and I've got my things here, so I can like play like this, and it's easier also to give some kind of a perspective to the rest of the band because everything is very organic. We're changing sections. It's never the same thing.
Yeah.
So we
But
can.
you didn't feel like, because you were saying that with Your Favorite Enemies you only had a microphone, so that your connection to the people was really direct, was really straightforward. Now you've got a Moog
Trust me,
keyboard in front
it's,
of you,
it's,
and then
it's even more direct now.
okay.
Because at the same time, it's very musical. And that's what I really wanted.
Yeah.
But there's also different ways to connect with people as well. So that's a good thing. So that's for the Moog. So that's my tenor, Eastwood tenor. So that's a very interesting guitar, only 4 strings. Because with different layers, when you're trying to have different layers of feedbacks and textures, sonic textures, you need to have like different kind of guitars or either like different tuning. So, and I don't define myself as a guitar player, but more like as someone who's creating like noise
Okay.
and sounds, textures.
So
So that's really
this
what
is
I'm
why-
doing. So for some of the songs, I've got this one because I know how it will react with the amp. And I've got this little thing here, which is probably like the most powerful thing on this whole stage. And that's Mendo Stang, again from Eastwood. And you've got like very high, and you're able to have like very high notes. So that's very interesting as well. And you can play different ways. And since I'm playing with a slider, that's even better for me because I'm able to really control all the feedbacks and the different elements. And this one, it's a short scale, so it's more. The attack is a little bit more, I won't say aggressive, but you've got the presence. It's pretty clear.
Four in your face.
Yeah, and I've been torturing this little thing over and over.
Missing a knob.
Yeah, and it's scratched a little bit as well. So, but that's a good
Well,
thing.
so-
It's really
so-
it's the live thing. Yeah,
Says your Moog here.
yeah, it goes everywhere. That's the fun part because you can.
This wasn't like that at the beginning of the
Oh
tour. It
no,
was
it's true.
in
That's
perfect shape,
casualties.
but then you've
Yeah,
been
that's like
playing
casualties.
your little Mandelstein with it, and so
Yeah, so
there they go, both of them.
and again, I'm not trying to do the same things. It really depends on the common
Yeah.
language we have
Definitely.
with the people in different cities, and so sometimes you feel like you can go a little further into the sonic madness, and it's great. And sometimes it's more laid back and it's okay, and you need to respect that common language and not
Yeah.
force yourself on people. That's what I hate when you're trying to force yourself because you feel like you're not enough and you feel like, oh, they're not reacting the way you want them to react. Now that was a bit of a struggle I had back in the days with Your Favorite Enemies. I was like, I wanted them to get in the mood I was trying to establish. But now I think that what's very wonderful being more into like the music with the band is the fact that we're connecting on a larger scale. People don't have to scream every other second just for me to think they like it, because it doesn't have anything to do about liking the music or not. It's about the connection we have. So we already talked about it, I think. So and that's my Jazz Master. So longer scale, I can do like different things as well, like different pickup stuff. So that's another thing, because I've got like those, you know, I don't even know the name, you know, I'm not a guitar player. But with the different pickups, I can do like whatever, different textures again. So that's for Hunter. But still, there's still a lot of things that I want to explore. And that's every night, that's the one wonderful occasion that I have to be able to do that, and sound checks and trying. So those little things here are very, very important. So that's my volume pedal, because that's how I can work with. I can even show you. Wow, it's open. Okay, we'll go full throttle. So that's something. And when you're working with feedbacks. Oh yeah, and I have like tapes also on the guitars. And then when I want to have like a little bit of power, this thing is like crazy. So that's. I guess it's red because it means like be careful.
What difference does it make?
Yeah. Maybe for the next one, I'll try this little one here.
Sure, we'll look.
But still, since everything is already set up. But yeah, so I've got like all my tapes on guitars, because I know also where it's because every instrument is very different, and I like to know where they react, and because it's not only about creating feedbacks, and I love to have like control on it, so I can join the band rather than just like trying to make like whatever crazy sounds. So
you
that's
can all go in the same direction and then just
because
add to the noise.
And that's the fun part of it, because you know that some of those very high notes will just come and open all the spectrum for the rest of the band, and even for the people in the audience. So it just like it feels like it's like sour, you know, when you're taking something sour, you're just like, oh, what's going on? And then suddenly just like opens up like everything in your ears. That's how I see it. Ben is laughing a lot when I'm talking about that, but I guess it's
I wouldn't really associate that with something positive, but
it's true. You need to, because you just like open up like all the spectrum, because you're when it's a bit more muffed, you're like, okay, and then slowly it goes like this, and then it's opening like the whole spectrum of, I don't know, that's my personal theory.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, thank you very much. I'm going to let you get ready before the show tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Doors are very soon, so is the show, and it's a live broadcast, so we'll see you again next time in England.
Yeah, it's going to be fun as well, seeing like a lot of friends,
So UK like coming up. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Have fun, and we'll see you again
so
very
far it's
soon.
been amazing. Thank you so much.
Right. See you for the fourth episode very soon.